Hello, welcome to Soulprint Insights. So you're going to love today's video because once again, we have as a special treat, Paul, who is known as White Dragon. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Cyndy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, so we're really excited. Paul is quite talented and gifted when he's just a bit more analytical than I am. And so he's going to take you through, we're going to have a conversation about clearing crystals, charging crystals, that kind of thing. So for the most part, we're going to kind of let him start, and then we'll take it from there. So Paul, I hand it over to you.
Okay. The basic topic for today is going to be common crystals and common solutions. And it's going to be broken up in several different areas. The first one is going to be charging and clearing or cleaning of the crystals and ways to clean some crystals. I'm sure that there's many ways, and a lot of people using crystals kind of feel the energy and the need for cleaning. So there's basically two types of doing it. One is a superficial way, which works, by the way, but the other one is an internal way of clearing the entire structure of the atom that's imprinted into the crystal, especially quartz. The simplest way you can do it is by just running water over it. So you take your crystal and you feel the need, and then you just put it under the faucet. Run water for about maybe 10 minutes or so. That takes away a lot of the ickiness that the crystals may have. The other thing is just to use salt water, preferably the ocean. But if you're not near an ocean, I mean, I'm very near an ocean myself, but if you don't have that near you, any body of moving water, like a stream or a river or something like that, so that water comes by and moves it. That's another way, another good way to do that. Another way to do that is using sunlight. Just take your crystals, put it out in the sun, bright sunlight, and that usually resets it, takes away all the bad stuff. Sage, you can sage your crystals. Mm-hmm. Now, with sage, that'll work, but it has a tendency to only work on the outside of the crystal. It doesn't go inside the crystal. So if the crystal is better with internal stuff, that would never get rid of it. You can use sound, such as a bell or musical instrument, or let me show you real quick here. If you have one of these things, it's a Tibetan singing bowl. Mm-hmm. Just put it inside and hit it until your mind says, hey, I'm done. It's already cleared. Or you can imbue some of the energy on it. The other thing is, I have these little things here. They're called Tibetan bells.
Okay.
And they're kind of tuned. I won't hit it too hard.
Oh, nice. That's a nice sound.
I call it the flying saucer because they kind of look like a flying saucer.
They do.
You can use that also with sound to kind of clear the crystals. And also there's a technique I'm going to be talking about a little later on. It's where you use the mind and your breath to be able to clear it. And that's based on Marcel Vogel, which is he was an IBM scientist, and he has many patents that he had, and he got interested in crystals. He did a lot of research on that, and he can actually measure the actual energy that's inside the crystals.
That's impressive.
So that's very interesting, and I'll give you a how to get the information. His lectures that are on YouTube, by the way, and very interesting. Charging your crystals, you can use sunlight and the moonlight. Put them in the moonlight.
I love the moonlight.
You can play music to your crystals.
Yeah.
Especially if the waltzes. If you play waltzes to your crystals, mm-hmm. that kind of music, the 4/4, mm-hmm. three quarter beat. Yeah. The waltzes is what does that also. And then like Marcel's method. That's the other thing. So, do you have any questions? That's the first section. So the next question is, the common stones to aid in common situations. One of the things I have to mention is that you never place directly crystals in water and then drink it.
Okay. Paul, I don't mean
yes.
to interrupt. Can you just pull your camera back a little bit so that we can
About there?
actually, yeah, we're just missing, we keep losing part of your face.
There it is. Is that
Perfect.
better?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so the thing is that it's probably not a good idea to put crystals in water, because the people make like a tonic or whatever. I mean, it's not a good idea because sometimes the crystal may do something for you energetically, but it may not be healthy for you. It could be toxic. But I just want to briefly show you this was a gift that somebody gave me. It's like a bottle, and you can fill it with water, and inside here there's another container that screws into it's glass. It's sealed with this one has it looks like quartz and rose quartz, and then you can charge the water that way.
Yeah.
With your crystals. So that's for drinking, getting the benefits. And the name of the company, let me tell you, Vita Jewel.
Okay. What's up?
Vita Jewel. It's the name of the company that makes this.
Okay.
This was
Okay.
a gift. Somebody gave me as a gift.
Nice.
You may want to look it up.
That's a very nice gift.
You have the black tourmaline for protection. Also, shields that get electromotor force, which is like radiation from electronics and so forth. It aids in the circulation and the lungs. Selenite stress relief by clearing negative energy. Black kyanite, which is this thing.
Yep.
That's also for protection, path of purpose, and become more emphatic. A new one in the list here is blue kyanite. And blue kyanite kyanite comes in several colors. This one has been made into a wand, and you can tell how big that is.
That's a beautiful piece.
This came like this, and I saw it, and I go, that's mine. It wasn't that expensive, by the way. But blue kyanite it helps you with sleep, meditation, and calming and patience. Okay, shungite, you know about shungite, okay, there we go. Aha, I got it. Shungite, it's mostly carbon, and it's the cleaning and detoxifying of the general area. Black obsidian blocks negative attacks. And obsidian is not a crystal, it's a type of volcanic glass.
Right.
But it's considered a crystal, okay? And then, all the quartz, the wonderful quartz ways of doing this. And you can program quartz to do just about anything. For headaches and pain, like you have a headache and you may use amethyst, rose quartz. The one is lapis lazuli. And lapis lazuli is an ancient stone. And I'm going to show you a little bit here. This is in form of a...
Yeah, this is also lapis. It's a gorgeous stone. Gorgeous stone.
It's an ancient, they found them in the pyramids and stuff like that. How would you use this for headaches? Just put them on your temples and lay down, and maybe in the front of your head. And then you got the wonderful aquamarine. There you go.
Yeah.
Aquamarine, it's also good for that, for pain. So for meditation, you have, just to go briefly, apophyllite.
Right.
Have one of those on your wand. Herkimer diamonds, which we haven't talked about. Herkimer diamonds are kind of like dual terminated special quartz. They only come from a place called Herkimer, New York.
Exactly.
And they are found inside a big, huge, it looks like a rock. It's very hard, and they have to hit it with a chisel and a hammer. It's very hard. If they crack it open, inside they may be like a chamber, a round chamber like this, and that will be inside of it, not attached to anything. It'll be just inside of it.
Yeah.
And of course, they got different sizes. This is a small one. They got some that are this big,
Yeah.
And if you look in Etsy, you might be able to get one. I don't know how much.
Although, you know, I have heard that with Herkimer diamonds, the smaller the stone, sometimes just the more powerful the stone is. There's something about the concentration of the energy.
Yeah, Herkimer diamond is considered one of the high energy stones.
Yeah.
Very, very high pure energy because it's double terminated. And then you have fluorite, and fluorite is also used for meditation. And this is in the crystal shape.
Back it up a bit. Just back it. There we go. Yeah.
You
Good.
see it?
Mm-hmm.
This is not cut or anything. This is how it grows, actually. And then when it gets too big, people cut them and make them into like different shapes or whatever. And then, of course, the Lemurian seed, which you just showed a big one the other day. You see,
Yeah. Those are beautiful.
That's for meditation. So, how many questions about those?
Okay. Well, let's shift into some of the other stuff, and then we can just talk about it jointly. So, one of the things that I want to go over again and just review, and of course for my new subscribers, this may be new information. I want to just take a couple moments and talk about crystals and how they resonate to your chakras, and the crystals that are very helpful to those areas. So let's start with the root chakra. Do you have any bloodstone or agate there?
Not a hand. No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm
so
sure I got it somewhere.
I tend to use a garnet if I'm working with my root chakra. You can also use any of the like smoky quartz or any of those sort of darker colored stones. The root chakra tends to resonate to the colors red and brown and kind of mauve. And of course, your root chakra is your base chakra. So that has to do with reproduction. It has to do with feeling centered and strong. So those are the colors you're going to gravitate towards should you feel like you want to, do some specific work on your root chakra. Now, your sacral chakra is the chakra sort of creativity, and it sits about 2 inches below your belly button. And the colors that resonate to that sacral chakra are like orange, gold, amber. So if you're doing sacral chakra work, it's awesome to use amber. I love citrine for this. Moonstone is awesome. And one of my favorites is rutilated quartz. This is what it looks like. I actually keep this by the front door of my house. It just has a protective feel to it, but that also is really, really good for that sacral chakra. And this is the thing for a lot of people out there. One of the easier ways, if you will, aside from getting loose stones, is to look for the crystals you're interested in terms of pieces of jewelry. So this thing is just a lovely little pendant. Right?
Wow.
Isn't that pretty?
That's rutilated. I don't even know how to say it well.
Yeah. Ritualated, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so you might want to look at rings or pendants or bracelets. Those are all really effective ways of kind of keeping those crystals around you and working. Okay, so solar plexus. And this is an interesting thing because we just said that the sacral chakra will resonate to citrine, but so will your solar plexus, because the solar plexus is that yellow energy. And the other one that works very, very well for solar plexus work is literally gold, the mineral gold. Silver also has some properties that are really helpful to be used sort of in conjunction with crystals or separately on their own. And that includes gold, silver, titanium, copper, all of those kinds of metals also super, super beneficial. Okay, heart chakra. So, this is the heart, right? And we are all really familiar with the color pink associated with the heart. And it absolutely is. And you know what? You can get wands, you can get cute little tumbled stones, you can get pieces that are, you know, a little bit rougher, they haven't been smoothed out. But green is also the color of the heart chakra. So you can use things like, lovely, that's a really pretty piece. Yeah. So you can use for the heart chakra, you can also use like aventurine. You can use malachite, which, as you know, is like my favorite. But this is the other stone that you can use for that, and it's an emerald. Now, this is the thing, you know, you can have those pretty sparkly, shiny emeralds, and they work fabulous. You can also, however, literally get raw emerald like this. Nice, beautiful.
This
Okay.
is laboratory made.
Yeah.
To get
Yeah.
one this big, like in this shape, but you'll be paying hundreds, probably $20,000 or $30,000.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't, but like, that's why I'm saying you can get raw emerald, and you can also get emerald that sort of isn't as high a quality, and it's cloudy and more solid looking. But again, very, very effective. Sometimes when you're dealing with chakra energy, it isn't quite as important the crystal you use as much as the color intensity. Sometimes working with chakras is a combination of crystal energy and color energy, because the chakras resonate to certain colors. Okay, throat chakra. So this is, of course, is your communication chakra, right? And so it's often effective if you're having throat issues, if you just feel like you can't get your point across or you're not being heard. And for the throat, so you can actually have, I'm going to show you my incredible wand that Paul made for me. And right in here, you can see those two little blue stones are also aquamarine. I do have a ring of aquamarine, but you can also use turquoise, which is again another really and a powerful stone. I mean, turquoise is often used, in Native American art and jewelry. It's a stone of the mystic, and this is a great stone for kind of communicating or connecting with higher energy realms.
Yeah,
You can use lapis.
I was going to say on the oldest stone you had,
Yeah.
the turquoise. It
Mm-hmm.
also has a connection to the earth,
Yeah.
direct connection to the earth.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
that's another one of its uses.
Perfect. That's good
The
to know.
Native Americans, they use that stone quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they usually knew about that stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Lapis, which we've talked about earlier. So again, and for those of you who have watched my channel for a while, you know that for a while there I was having horrendous throat problems. It was as if I was just psychically getting attacked. And all of a sudden, there was all this blue around my throat and blue on my fingers and in my ears. And that was exactly the purpose of that. It was to protect my throat chakra and allow easier communication. Third eye, right? So the third eye it connects you to the higher realms, right? It's one of the ways that you reach out and connect. And one of these days we're going to do, if I remember, because I am flaky, a bit of a practice, sort of a meditation thing on how to actually see your third eye. It's very cool. And it's relatively easy to do. As long as you don't get freaked out by the fact that when you look up, you're going to see your own eyeball staring back at you.
Or
Okay.
the other thing that I've experienced when I use my third eye, I can see with my eyes closed. That's something you can see around you. You can look around and go, oh boy. And then
Yeah.
you kind of, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you don't get freaked out, then everything works, because as soon as you get freaked out, it stops.
Yes. Now, the thing to remember, I just want to mention this for those of you who are like psychic or intuitive, or you're using your third eye. Always remember that you absolutely have it in your power to close your third eye. You can absolutely just shut it down and then reopen it. And very often, even especially kind of with empaths, they will actually get some relief if they just simply shut down that third eye when they're out and about, so they're not sort of absorbing all of the crazy, crazy energy around them. And of course, the third eye. Okay, so fluoride. Paul talked about that earlier, I think. And of course, the famous amethyst, right? And again, raw amethyst, you can have it in wands. Certainly, you can have it in jewelry, in rings, that kind of thing. And when I'm talking about that, I specifically, a lovely, yeah, that's a really pretty piece, really nice colors. And of course, you have all seen my roasting pan size amethyst, which I'm going to leave right over there on the fireplace because it's heavy. But speaking of amethyst, I also just want to mention, so a couple things. The third eye resonates to the color indigo, turquoise, and mauve. Throat chakra, blue, silver. Heart chakra, pink, green. You can also get amethyst that is green. Okay, and that's what this ring is. That is a green amethyst. And so it really does, it does the same things that amethyst does, purple amethyst. It just has an overlay of healing energy around it. So that's also a nice stone that you might want to think about looking at. And finally, your crown chakra.
Also, there's a stone called ametrine, which is like one end of the stone is amethyst and the other end is citrine, and it goes from purple to yellow. That's
Beautiful.
something that's very, very powerful. They got another one. It's called seven. I forgot. Anyways, it's seven something, and
Yeah.
it's very special too.
Yeah, I know I got a piece of, and it reminded me when you said the seven something, but this was literally almost like considered like seven powerful stones that had come together into one
Yeah,
piece.
that is exactly the same thing that I was saying.
Yeah.
It escapes me.
I don't remember what it is.
I don't remember what it is. If I do, I'll put it on one of the comments in on one of your videos so that people know. I mean, that comes with age. Sometimes it's just like poof, a
Yeah,
senior moment.
we understand. Okay, crown chakra. So, again, for those of you who are using that crown chakra, you're doing energy work, you're doing psychic work. Remember that you want to keep that thing protected, and the colors connected to your crown chakra are violet and gold and white. So, again, amethyst, jade is, I have my little jade band here, right? So jade is also a really nice one for the crown chakra. And clear quartz, of course, and this one, which is celestine,
Celestite.
which I talked about in one of my last videos. I think it was the meditation video we did last week. So this is a lovely stone. This stone is sort of known, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sort of attracts and resonates to the angelic realms. And it just seems to be much easier to make that connection. And, you don't need big pieces. A little piece will do the trick.
That's one of the high frequency stones. Some stones resonate at a higher frequency than others. That is one of the highest ones, and it does connect you to the other side at a very high level. So it's very good to have around. I mean, some people can't take that energy, by the way, so you have to be a little careful because it might freak them out or whatever.
Yeah. But this would definitely be something nice if you are wanting to like a meditation work and have a conversation with your guardian angels or archangels or the, the realm. So just keep that one in mind. It's a really pretty stone. It's like that soft, pretty blue, and it's just very calming to look at. Okay, so a couple of things I just want to mention. Crystals can be used in so many different ways. You carry them in your pocket, you put them in your purse. My daughters, for example, in their cars have crystals hanging, and typically they are protected by they have amethyst crystals in their cars that the mama has put in there. Because I'm calling forward Archangel Michael, right? I'm putting an umbrella of protection around their cars, their vehicles when they're moving in them. So, there's places you can kind of utilize these things. Another really nice thing that you can do is if you have like a bigger piece and you're doing some, not massive, but something like about this size. They're also really nice to put in the shower. You can put them, if you're soaking in a tub, you could even put them in the water or put them around the edge of the tub. All of those kinds of things are effective ways of connecting with crystal energy and their healing properties. So just quick, I want to go over just a couple more. Paul was awesome about sharing some of the common purposes, so common crystals for common purposes. I just have a couple more that I want to share with you. So for your immune system, malachite, right? Again, that malachite stone, and blue quartz. So it's like a clear quartz, except it has that blue undertones in it. And in fact, I do have, not surprisingly, a blue quartz ring, right?
That's not that common, by the way. It's not a very common stone.
No,
Of course, it's kind of hard to find. So,
okay. The other thing, though, remember, it's like I said earlier. Sometimes you're looking not necessarily for the specific of the stone. You can also work with the colors that are going to resonate. They say that if you're trying to get some clarity on your life purpose, clear quartz, of course. Who doesn't love clear quartz, eh, Paul? It's like the best crystal in the planet, right? It just does so much stuff. It's always there for us. It's sturdy. It's easy to find. It's just a great crystal. Okay, so clear quartz and emeralds for your life purpose. Apparently emeralds are going to be helpful for that. And remember what I said, you don't necessarily need to pay huge money for a perfectly clear, jewelry quality crystal, gem quality crystal. You can get lesser quality and still get the same impact. So money. Who doesn't need a little bit of extra money? Paul, what's your favorite stone for attracting money?
citrine.
Citrine, you got it. So, and citrine, it's actually known like as the merchant stone, right? Back in the day, the shopkeepers used to actually keep a piece of citrine in the cash register because it just enhanced abundance and money. So the other ones that you can use are cinnabar. And I'm pretty sure this is cinnabar. It's a white stone with sort of red and black like lines that run through it. It's a very delicate. Personally, I'm going to go with citrine. The other one's jade, and aventurine is also a very, very powerful stone if you are working to attract more money or more abundance. And just so you know, if you are trying to find the place to set the citrine so you can attract that money or that abundance, you're going to want to look for the left-hand corner that is farthest away from the entrance to your room. Okay, so when you walk into the front door of your house, figure out where the extreme left-hand corner is, and that's your abundance corner. That's where you're going to want to put a couple of citrines. And you can also do it with rooms. So when you walk into your bedroom, again, the corner that is farthest left from the door, from the entrance, is going to be your abundance corner. So that's just a little bit of feng shui that's kind of nice to keep track of. This is an interesting one, I thought. So if you're trying to lose weight, which I think sometimes is just a secondary hobby for like 85% of the world. I know I'm certainly in that category. Labradorite is really, really effective for helping you decrease weight. Not quite sure why, but they say it works. And of course, Labradorite's such a lovely stone. You'd want to have it around anyways. And if you are trying to decrease your worry, which again, there is so much of that going on right now. We are inundated with things to be scared of and frightened of. Orange quartz, or sorry, tangerine quartz, orange calcite are really, really good. They're, you know, it's that sort of orangey kind of stone that just for some reason seems to calm everything down.
This is not orange, but it's just clear. You can see right through it.
Beautiful.
I do have some this kind of orangey color, but I don't know where it's at. I mean, it's one of those that it's just, I lose stones every now and then I find them again.
Yeah. What's this one, Paul? What is this?
That looks like
it's just like, it's really common, whatever it is.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of clear. If it was more opaque, I would say it would be that red stone for the base chakra. What did you call it? Sometimes those names escape me.
Agate, bloodstone, tiger's eye, and garnet for the base chakra.
Garnet. It's an offshoot of garnet.
Yeah. In any case, again, sometimes it just, if you find the color that's going to work or something that resonates with you, but so orange tones there. Abuse, smoky quartz, of course. Anxiety, you're going to want to pull in citrine, lapis, and smoky quartz. And if you're trying to create change, you're going to look for garnets and rubies and pink tourmaline. Do you have pink tourmaline? I don't have a piece of pink tourmaline.
Pink tourmaline. I did on a one, but the one is sitting somewhere in a box.
Okay. Personally, I like watermelon tourmaline. That's like my favorite.
But that's expensive too. It looks beautiful though.
Yeah, it is. I have a small piece that I really treasure. But yeah. Okay. Paul, anything to add to this whirlwind of crystals part 2?
Okay. The one thing I want to say about the crystals. Okay, so we say that, well, this crystal is good for this thing and that crystal is good for that thing. How do we know that? Okay. The information comes through psychic discovery by people who are sensitive, and they actually do experiment with the stones. And there's people who have their whole life output has been writing books about stones, and they'll sit there and they meditate and they try it on different areas, and then this one feels like this, so they write a book. That's how we know about this stuff. And so you go, how do you know that this works on, this stone works on headaches? Well, somebody had a headache and it does feel better. So psychic discovery. Yeah, that's how we basically find out about a lot of this stuff. The stones themselves do not have the power to change things. You have to be aware that you have to complete the circuit with your mind and your desire and your intention. That's very key. So whenever you're going to use something for whatever purpose that you need, you can say, this is good for like stomach aches. Well, good. So you get the stone. And then you put the intention, well, this stone is going to help me with this. And that activates the stone to you. So that's one of the things I just want to say. I mean, just because if you don't do anything and you use this kind of fluorite for meditation, and you go lay down, you put it on your third eye, and you go to sleep. If you don't put the intention, you may not feel anything. You may just go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm saying that the intention and the actual what do you want to do? Your intention and what do you want to do? You have to put that into the whole process. That completes the circuit, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them activated.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think I've spoken about this before. One of my personal favorite things is I will often set intentions with jewelry, for example. So this incredibly beautiful amber ring has been set with the intention that it will unfreeze me, literally unfreeze. Because, of course, what is amber, right? But absolutely, it's resin, right? And it's stuck, and stuff is stuck in the resin. So I use it because I've set the intention with this ring so that when I'm stuck in a place, like I just can't get past a certain thought, or I can't figure out a way to go forward, on goes the amber ring, because I use the intentions that are set with the ring to create, again, that circle connection. And if you think about it, it makes perfectly brilliant sense to use jewelry, because of course engagement rings are an intention. They're a symbol of an intention. Wedding bands, a symbol of an intention. So always remember that you can use jewelry, be it rings or whatever, and that's another really nice way to keep the crystals around you. Also, because Paul brought it up, and thank goodness, because again, I would have forgotten. I have been asked sort of what my favorite crystal books are. Now, before we go there, I just want to say quickly, you know what? You don't need to buy books. You can just go into Google and say metaphysical qualities of, you know, citrine, and it will tell you. Or you can say, what is citrine good for? And it will tell you. So you don't need to go, you know, into a bookstore and spend a fortune. But if you are specifically looking for a paper book, these are my kind of two favorites. The first one is Crystal Therapy. It was written by Doreen Virtue, who I'm sure a lot of you know was sort of considered kind of that angel. She really specialized in angel cards and that kind of energy. And she co-wrote this with a Judith Lukomsky, I think is how you say it. And so this one is cool, right? Because what it does is it gives you a picture, it tells you phonetically how to say it, but then she's done exactly kind of what Paul was talking about. She's actually done psychic connection work, and she has communicated what the stone, what the crystal wants people to know about the crystal. So super helpful. If you're looking for something that's a little bit more cut and dried, you know, this is the therapeutic use, this is, you know, what part of the body it should be put on, a little bit more medical, if you will, and analytical. The Crystal Bible by Judith Hall is amazing. So for those of you who were asking, that's the answer.
That's really awesome, because
Yeah.
you know, not only we tell them about the properties of the crystals, but we tell them where to get the information. I mean, you can go to YouTube and type in whatever it is that you're interested in, and you usually get somebody's made a video about it. On Google, that white box is very useful. You can just type whatever you want, and I usually go the meaning of amethyst or the meaning of amber. And it gives you a whole list of stuff. I mean, you have to go pick and choose. There's a site that I usually like to go read about whenever I want to know a little more. It's called Crystal Vaults. And then
Perfect. Good to know.
It's kind of like Crystal Vaults is like a connection to a lot of different crystals. So, I mean, it's this, we could talk here for days, but we don't have the time.
We could. All right, listen, let's wrap this up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I think Paul and I might have another one or two of these little videos still tucked up our sleeves. If there is something really specific you want us to take a look at in terms of crystals, if there's sort of a specific area you want to look at, or how do I use them, we're going to be doing some of that, but for sure, if you have questions, please put them in the comment section. And as you saw the last time, both Paul and I will be going through and adding our 2 cents as we go through them. And so thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. Thank you for enjoying our little 101 on crystals. And goodbye, Paul. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, and allow me the opportunity to help you out.
It is, I am so grateful. Truly, I am so grateful for the help. You know. Okay.
I do hope that people find this interesting, and it piques their interest to kind of find out a little more about
frozen.
it.
Okay. All right, so again, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you ever so much for the support of Soulprint, for the support of the crystal aspect of this channel. And, you know, until next time, stand in your strength and stand in your light. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hold on here, I gotta stop this thing. There we go. Bye, everyone.